Hey, what's up? Sorry it takes so long to get back to you with the next video. We had a good response to our first one, first Thin Lizzy jailbreak video. Had a lot of comments and some questions, and one of the comments I had was people said I said that I was in an open tuning, and they said, didn't you mean standard tuning? And really, it was open standard tuning, or what's sometimes called standard open tuning, and that's because like when you hit like an open E, like that, you get an E. And when you hit an open A, like that, you get an A. So it's standard, but it's open. Okay, so, and the other thing is, with Thin Lizzy, when they record, they record a half step down. So if you want to play along with the record, you've got to change the tuning on your guitar. And a lot of bands will do that. They'll do different tunings, and that's usually because like one of the guys in the band isn't very good at tuning. You know, it's usually like the bass player, and so the rest of the band will just tune to the bass player rather than try and wait around for him to tune with the rest of them. You know, like Paul McCartney and Gene Simmons, they're like two famous bass players and weren't very good at tuning. That's why they played bass. So. But if you do tune down half a step, then it's not really standard tuning, but it would be open non-standard tuning, or standard non-open tuning might be another way to put it. People also are wondering about my gear. I'm playing a 1980s imitation Les Paul. Got the original strings on it, which is good because you should always have vintage strings on vintage guitars like this, and it sounds pretty good for a 60-year-old guitar, you know. So definitely, if you get one, look for one that has the original strings on it. It just has that sound that people try to get. And for my amp, I'm using a you can see a Marshall. It's a solid state amp. It's not a tube amp, and you want to make sure if you get in Marshall that you get a solid state. Don't get a tube amp, because the tube amps, they're like your grandmother's technology, you know, like they had radios with tubes in it. So you want to be sure and get one that has no tubes. They have to warm up and all kinds of stuff. And this one for effects, this one's got a button here. When you hit that button, you can see the light comes on, and you don't want the light on. So you want to push the button and have the light off. So there's number of other switches and stuff there, but you don't really want to mess with them because they're like set at the factory, and you know you don't want to mess with it because then you'll never get it back the way that it was. So today we're going to do Thin Lizzy's "Boys Are Back in Town" in standard open tuning. So if you want to sing along, you need to sing differently than you normally would, which probably out of key. So